services, but this session is called After Church. All right, here we go. Man, we're talking about these musicians. I got a bunch of musicians here. There's Jason over there, of course.
Jason.
There's Zach, the minister.
Yes, sir.
And of course, Matt. And you got another musician right here.
Right.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So, man, you were just talking a moment ago. Y'all have eaten up all the fruit.
All the fruit gone.
Well, go ahead. What about that when an organist does too much?
Sometimes you have musicians that play. They're very skillful musicians, but then when it comes to playing behind the preacher, sometimes they're overbearing. Instead of accompanying the preacher, they are preaching along with the preacher.
Y'all got to share this with somebody.
Are y'all with
about
me?
to happen.
Yeah, you're right, man. You know,
is that right, Zach?
You're right. Yeah, he's doing his argument. He's arguing his text. Then when he comes to his close, you know, some guys they just don't follow well.
Right,
you know, they'll start in their climax of the message. You know, like in the time of trouble.
So they saying everything the preacher said.
Everything the preacher said, they said, he shall hide me. Can I get on it? Say yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. Okay, hey Doc, wait. Are you preaching to me? I'm gonna stop and let you go home. And when you get through, I'll preach.
Do I need to split the honorarium?
Yeah. One more. Can he do? He laid. I said he laid. Hold up, Doc. Wait. You done got on my nerves.
Now, this is the guy that played for me in the convocation. That's Jason. Y'all been asking. That's Jason, you all. Jason St. Clair. So, what do you suggest a musician should do, Lance H.A.? You were the minister of music for Bishop G.E. Patterson.
Yes, sir.
So, I know you are a man of great experience, and you travel with G.E. all around, right?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
So, talk to us a little bit about that, if you would.
Well, about traveling with him, or
no? Please don't tell all that. But just you're sworn to secrecy, I'm sure. But no.
Well, no. The thing is, when you're with a man as yourself, Bishop Patterson, there's a certain discipline that you have to have as a musician when you're playing. First of all, you got to realize one thing: you can be an accomplished musician, but you can belittle yourself when you don't know how to follow.
Right. Somebody just said, talk to them in G.E. Patterson's voice.
That'll cost you. That's another message.
We'll do that at the half show when we leave here.
But the thing is, knowing how to accompany a pastor or a preacher so that the message will be heard, the message will be appreciated, and as a musician, you are under. It's just like playing for a soloist. After the introduction, you're over with.
That's it.
It's
they're
for
saying
you.
that the people all over it they're saying it's great teaching. They're sharing it with a lot of people. Come on, y'all, talk to them. How you liking this stuff? Keep talking.
It's after the introduction of a musician playing for a solo singer. You become an accomplice after that. Same thing with a pastor. You don't overshadow the preacher. You do just enough. And the thing about it is one key element: paying attention. It's about paying attention and understanding the flow of the message. Where he's going, you really got to just become one with him,
right?
And realize one thing: it is never about you. It does not decline or belittle your ability as a great musician or a musician that can change keys or one that can do a lot of runs. But a great musician is one that makes the message successful for the pastor.
Wow.
Give us an example.
Good, right? Makes the message. Come on, Zach, tell us something. What do you think?
And I approve that message.
Could you give us an example?
Well, he just did. He was talking about that. But they're asking a lot of things on here. But however, I do want you to tell about also the experience, how you have to humble yourself with that experience in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tell us that. That's a little funny story with you and G in a moment. But Jason, tell us a little bit about it, because you said something a moment ago, H.N., and Jason does this a lot, Zach, and that is he'll be thinking of a song or something that goes along with it. Tell us about that, Jason.
It's just as H.N. said, he said paying attention, being attentive to the flow, and being attentive to the man of God who's up, or woman of God up. But as I'm playing, I usually pay close attention to what the word, because that's the most important thing is the word.
Yeah.
It's not your time to shine. It's not your time to show what you know, how many chords you know, how many rounds. It's not even about that. It's about the word going forth to the people. And but going back to the songs, just being attentive to what the subject is. And sometimes, I mean, out the blue, I'm not even thinking of songs, and God just tells me play this.
Wow.
And
it goes
I
right
go
with
there,
it.
and it really helps. It helps the atmosphere. It's easier for the man of God to even go forth even better.
Wow, wow. So, and even sometimes, Zach, I've noticed how when you guys are playing, sometimes it's the chord, because with me, I'm not a great singer, but I can sing a little bit. But even in preaching, sometimes what you'll do is help me think of some other places to go and things to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then sometimes when I'm not at my best, or my voice is weak, you all fill in the blanks. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, basically, is you have to know your preacher, know your pastor.
Yeah.
There's sometimes when I play for you and travel with Bishop, I can tell, like for instance, if I'm with him a few nights, I can tell where this night he's kind of a little challenged a little bit. So especially if he's getting ready to sing, I'll stop in another key that I know he's comfortable in,
Yeah.
because I know Bishop Porter.
Yeah.
Different chord changes, what have you. I know what he's listening for. Even as Jason said, even as being attentive to the message, you got to be attentive to the atmosphere as well too, because there are sometimes the preacher would be making high points in the message,
Yeah.
and we have to hit him.
Right.
Again, kind of hit him and get off of it. Turn to your neighbor, say, yeah, whatever, do a run or whatever. What you have to hit him, know your preacher. And then the main thing is play what you know. That's not the time to practice.
Wow. Good.
Yes.
Play what you know.
Yeah.
Don't play what you heard somebody else do. Play what you know. And then once you play what you know, then your preacher, pastor, they become familiar with you. And then you win every time.
Wow. Wow.
And you know what's that? One of the things that's very essential.
They're
in
really
this-
loving this, you all. They're saying these guys are amazing. They're great. They're loving it.
One
you don't
thing
get this a lot.
One
from
thing that's
people,
very essential: know your pastor's keys.
Wow.
Know his preaching key.
Yeah.
Know his singing key.
Yeah.
They're going to be different, because you got to remember the rooms are different. The air is different. The atmosphere is different. Temperatures are different. So when you stand up, although he may be a C singer, it may be cold that day, or it may be warm that day, and it just depends.
Right.
What I used to do with Bishop Patterson, I would feel his vibes, his emotions. When he stand to the pulpit, if he stand there a moment, I'd go straight to C, because I felt what he was getting ready to do. If he just stand there a moment, and he said, "I've had many tears and sorrows," and the next chord, I'm there. Boom. Questions about tomorrow, and then he's gone. And he would do 2 or 3 songs back to back.
Wow.
It's just a constant flow, and I never went above a whisper. I stayed where he was. I let him lead.
Bishop,
Let him lead.
I have
Let
a
him lead.
question for the musicians from another perspective, because I think we're just talking about one. Each of you have talked mainly about knowing your preacher, knowing your pastor, but you guys play for all kind of evangelists. You have evangelists come in, and if, say for instance, if you take a guy like me, I'm not a natural hooper, but sometimes the hoop will come. And what I found out is when I'm in certain churches, if it's the right organist, he's almost to me like, I don't want to get into anything crazy, but he's almost, in my opinion, what God meant Eve to be to Adam. He's a helpmeet to me.
Yeah.
He's pushing me in ways so I can preach and do things when
He
he's
played for you
behind
this
me.
morning, right? Did you play for
Right.
this morning?
And so I want you guys to address that from the perspective of how to play for people you're not familiar with. Because I think when you're trained to a certain way and you can get into the flow of the service, you're able to still help that visiting preacher who you've never been playing behind before, but still be in a certain vein. And I think that's what you may have a lot of people who are not full-time musicians, but they play for guest evangelists and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Can one of you address that?
Yeah, somebody just said accompaniment makes anointing easy here. They got a lot of musicians can't be selfish when playing for a preacher. So they're saying everything you're saying.
Social media is a wonderful technique to get familiar with unfamiliar guests that come in.
Wow.
YouTube, because it's like do your research, do your homework. When you hear that a guest evangelist is coming in, go to YouTube and try to pull up some videos and kind of study where when they have those climatic points, maybe even figure out what key they operate in, so you can just have something to have some foundation when they get here.
Wow.
To your church.
They're asking questions, y'all. It turns into a clinic. Yeah. They're saying, what do you do when your pastor is not a hooper? How do you raise the atmosphere for him? Maybe that's what they're asking. What do you do when he's not a hooper? You know?
Just play up on
Well,
if he's not a hooper, it goes back to what I just said. I'm sure when preachers or teachers, everyone has.
Someone said like C.D. Owens, like Bishop C.D. Owens.
Okay. Well, good example though.
Yeah,
what I'm ready to say, because even in teaching,
doesn't mean he's not an exhorter, but he's just not a. He's not going to sing it.
Can't sing it.
And that's what I'm ready to say. Even in teaching, every teacher has climatic points.
Yes.
So even in the climatic points, hit it. And get off of it.
That's right.
And you're still pushing it. The excitement is still there.
Yeah.
Even though not a hooper. So you have, like I said, once again, you have to know your teaching.
Somebody said, well, if you're passing out a hooper, cut the organ off.
I think we forget though that music adds so much to atmosphere. It's like what would a movie be if there wasn't music?
And people don't pay attention to that though,
right?
Because that's what brings you. It raises your expectation, suspense.
Right.
You know something's about to happen because of the music.
Because of the music.
And the same thing applies with the like I was
so
saying.
Even if he's an exhorter, just
it
brings something.
You hit the point. You, like Zach was saying earlier, you hit the point. And that's why you got to be listening. The musician has to be hearing the word. He has to be knowing what's going on. And what happens with me sometimes, so y'all know who's on my Periscope, right? This is Bishop Porter. Okay, so I'm going to let you see these guys.
Make sure y'all follow him.
Follow. Don't just thank you. Tell me this is the Periscope king over here.
Follow. Hit the little usher. There's a little usher down at the bottom right.
Yeah.
Hit the little usher, and then you tap on his name and follow. As a matter of fact, all of you who are on here for the first time, if you're not following him, put up number 1 so he can see that you're not following him, but you're going to start following him tonight so he can welcome you in.
Thank you. Great. Thank you, Dr. Glassman. And I also put this on, I got Catch now or something. What is it called?
Catch.me.
I got Catch.me now so that
you'll be able to go back and watch it.
Absolutely. But here's something I was saying, because I don't have perfect pitch. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm I can be traveling or out of town and I can get tone deaf to the point where what I'm saying is I know I preach normally in C, right? Mm-hmm. But if I feel good, I'll drop down to B flat. I do like the little Baptist thing, or the Paul Morton.
Exactly.
Will you call it that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of preachers go up,
right,
and they drop, and some drop down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They keep climbing. Willie James Campbell, he keeps climbing, right?
Yeah, right.
And Marvin Sapp, he climbs, but he climbs completely out of the building. Marvin, I said, Marvin, you keep going higher now. Something about to break it in. Yeah. Okay.
Even broke.
Right. So, but he's great music. So I gotta hear something. That's why I want musicians to hit while I'm giving points, so I'll know what to come to.
Exactly.
And something else helps you too. It helps you go on and finish.
Right. Exactly.
And that's why you hit sometime anyway.
Exactly.
Come on, Bishop, this time. Come on in now.
Well, Bishop, I'm sorry, but I want to say this too while we're on this, and this is good. I'm going to come from another part too. If we have preachers or evangelists or teachers, I want to speak to you, not just musicians. I want to speak to you. Be sensitive to those that haven't played for you.
Right.
Oh yeah, right. Now that's true too.
Because
don't make a musician mad.
Exactly. I've been made mad several times. Yeah. But and if it gets to that point to where you need a special kind of musician, you need to start bringing your own musician. Or
at least. Sometimes what you do is you'll call ahead of me,
right?
To find out where I'm going and to see who's in the area.
Exactly.
But what Jason said was wonderful. Yeah. You go on YouTube and you can see what a guy does. You know what I'm saying? So that's key. Anybody else?
And one thing that I would like to stress to those who are watching, musicians, ministers of music, and even if there are some pastors that are watching, please do maintenance on your instruments.
Right.
Get your pianos tuned.
Right.
Get your organs tuned. Make sure your pedals are tightened, because a lot of times you bring in say a Bishop Porter to preach, and then he'll bring a musician